Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm beyond thrilled to have you all here today because we're diving deep into the absolutely mesmerizing world of butterflies, those delicate, colorful creatures that seem to float through the air like living pieces of art. Buckle up, because this is going to be a long, fascinating journey, and I'm so excited to share every detail with you. Butterflies are more than just pretty insects. They're a testament to nature's creativity, resilience, and mind-blowing complexity. These winged wonders belong to the order Lepidoptera, which also includes moths, but butterflies are the ones stealing the show with their vibrant colors and daytime antics. Let's start with their life cycle, which is honestly one of the most incredible processes in nature. It all begins with a tiny egg, often no bigger than a pinhead, laid on the underside of a leaf or stem. The mother butterfly is super picky about where she lays her eggs, choosing specific host plants that her future caterpillars will thrive on. This is no random choice. Each species has evolved to prefer certain plants, ensuring their babies have the perfect food source. From that egg hatches a caterpillar or larva, which is basically a leaf-munching machine. These little guys are all about eating, and I mean eating. Some caterpillars can consume thousands of times their body weight in leaves, chowing down like they're at an all-you-can-eat buffet. This stage is all about growth, and they'll shed their skin multiple times, called molting, as they outgrow it, kind of like upgrading to a bigger pair of jeans. After bulking up, the caterpillar forms a chrysalis, or pupa, and this is where the real magic happens. Inside that chrysalis, the caterpillar undergoes metamorphosis, a process that's basically nature's version of a complete makeover. The caterpillar's body breaks down into a sort of biological soup, and specialized cells called imaginal discs reorganize it into a butterfly, wings, antennae, and all. It's like a sci-fi transformation scene, except it's happening in your backyard. When the butterfly finally emerges, it's a fully formed adult, ready to spread its wings and take on the world. Those wings. Oh my gosh, let's talk about them because they're absolutely stunning. Butterfly wings are covered in thousands of tiny scales, which is where the name Lepidoptera comes from, Greek for scale wing. These scales are arranged like tiles on a roof and are responsible for those breathtaking colors. But here's the cool part. Not all those colors come from pigments. Some, like the iridescent blues and greens you see on certain butterflies, are created through structural coloration, where the microscopic structure of the scales bends and reflects light to produce shimmering effects. It's like they're wearing nature's own holographic makeup. These wings aren't just for show, though. Butterflies use them for communication, flashing bright patterns to attract mates or signal to rivals. They also use them for defense. Some species have eye-like spots to scare off predators, while others have wings that mimic leaves, bark, or even snakes to blend into their surroundings. This camouflage is next level. There are butterflies that look so much like a dead leaf, complete with fake vein patterns that you'd walk right past them. And then there's the opposite strategy. Some butterflies sport bold, bright colors to advertise that they're toxic. These toxins, often acquired from the plants they ate as caterpillars, make them taste awful to predators like birds, who quickly learn to steer clear. There's even a trick called Bayesian mimicry, where non-toxic butterflies evolve to look like their toxic cousins, fooling predators into thinking they're bad news. How clever is that? Now, let's talk about their flying skills, because butterflies aren't just floating around aimlessly. Some species are incredible navigators. Monarch butterflies, for instance, undertake one of the most epic migrations in the animal kingdom, traveling up to 3,000 miles from Canada and the northern U.S. to their wintering grounds in Mexico. They navigate using a combination of the sun's position and an internal magnetic compass, which is like having a built-in GPS. Scientists are still unraveling how they do it, especially since many of these butterflies are born along the way and have never been to the destination before. It's like they're following an ancestral map encoded in their DNA. Other butterflies don't migrate quite as far, but they're still agile flyers, capable of quick darts and zigzags to evade predators. Their flight might look delicate, but it's powered by strong muscles in their thorax, allowing them to cover surprising distances. Butterflies also play a massive role in ecosystems. As pollinators, they're like the unsung heroes of the plant world, sipping nectar from flowers and transferring pollen as they go. This helps plants reproduce, supporting everything from wildflower meadows to crops like fruits and vegetables that we rely on. Their diet is mostly liquid, and they use a long, straw-like proboscis to drink nectar, tree sap, or even the juices from rotting fruit. Here's a fun fact. Some butterflies engage in puddling, where they gather on wet soil, animal droppings, or even sweaty human skin to suck up minerals and salts. It sounds gross, but those minerals are crucial, especially for male butterflies, who use them to produce pheromones to woo females. Speaking of senses, butterflies have some wild ones. They can taste with their feet. Yep, their feet have chemoreceptors that let them taste a leaf to check if it's the right plant for their eggs. Their eyesight is also insane. They see a broader spectrum of colors than we do, including ultraviolet light, which helps them spot nectar-rich flowers or patterns on other butterflies' wings that are invisible to us. Their antennae act like super-sensitive noses, picking up chemical signals in the air to locate food, mates, or even danger. And while they don't hear like we do, some butterflies can detect vibrations or use their wings to create sounds for communication. Survival is a big deal for butterflies, and they've got all sorts of tricks up their sleeves, or rather, their wings. Beyond camouflage and mimicry, some species have evolved to release foul-smelling chemicals when threatened, while others play dead to avoid being eaten. But life as a butterfly isn't easy. Their habitats are under constant threat from deforestation, climate change, and pesticide use, which can wipe out their host plants and nectar sources. This is why conservation efforts are so crucial. Protecting butterflies means protecting entire ecosystems. Another fun fact, butterflies have been around for at least 56 million years, with some fossil evidence suggesting they might have shared the Earth with dinosaurs. That's some serious staying power. They've also got a quirky side. For example, butterflies can't fly if their body temperature drops too low, so they bask in the sun, spreading their wings like tiny solar panels to soak up heat. Some species can enter a state called diapause, where they pause their development to survive harsh conditions like winter, essentially hitting the snooze button on life. And here's a weird one. Butterflies don't sleep like we do. Instead, they enter a resting state called torpor, where they conserve energy until they're ready to flutter off again. Culturally, butterflies are huge. Across the globe, they're seen as symbols of transformation, hope, and the soul. In some cultures, a butterfly landing on you is considered a sign of good luck or a message from a loved one who's passed on. They've inspired art, literature, and fashion. Think butterfly-themed dresses, jewelry, or tattoos. In ancient Greece, the word for butterfly, psyche, also meant soul, tying these creatures to ideas of spirituality and rebirth. Scientifically, butterflies are a goldmine for researchers. Their sensitivity to environmental changes makes them great indicators of ecosystem health. If butterflies are struggling, it's a sign something's off in the environment. Plus, their genetics are fascinating. Did you know that some butterflies can hybridize, creating new color patterns or traits? And their chromosomes are wild. Some species have hundreds compared to our measly 46. Butterflies also have a surprising social side. While they're not forming butterfly book clubs, some species gather in groups during migration or puddling, and males will sometimes engage in aerial dog fights to compete for females. Mating itself is a whole process. Males often court females with elaborate flight displays, or by releasing pheromones from special scent scales on their wings. After mating, females lay hundreds of eggs, but only a tiny fraction survive to adulthood due to predators, parasites, and environmental challenges. Speaking of predators, butterflies have to deal with birds, spiders, and even other insects like praying mantises, but they're not defenseless. Some caterpillars have spines or bristles that make them hard to eat, and others can regurgitate foul-tasting chemicals to deter attackers. Butterflies also have a short but sweet lifespan as adults, often living just a few weeks. Though some, like monarchs, can live up to 9 months during migration. Another cool tidbit, butterflies can't chew because they lack jaws, so their proboscis is their all-purpose tool for feeding. If it gets damaged, they're in trouble, but they can sometimes repair it by coiling and uncoiling it to realign the tissues. And let's not forget their role in inspiring technology. Scientists have studied butterfly wings to develop better solar panels, anti-reflective coatings, and even sensors, thanks to their unique scale structures. Butterflies are also incredibly diverse, with over 20,000 species worldwide, from the Arctic to the tropics. They've adapted to every continent except Antarctica, thriving in rainforests, deserts, and even urban gardens. Their colors, patterns, and behaviors are so varied that you could spend a lifetime studying them and still not know everything. For example, some butterflies can fly at speeds up to 30 miles per hour, while others are more like leisurely strollers. Their wings are also surprisingly durable. Despite looking fragile, they can withstand rain, wind, and even minor collisions. But they're not invincible. A torn wing can make flying harder, though some butterflies can still manage with a bit of damage. Butterflies also have a knack for popping up in unexpected places, like the time a butterfly landed on an astronaut's helmet during a space shuttle mission. Okay, it was pre-launch, but still cool. They've even been used in art therapy, where their symmetry and beauty inspire creativity and calm. And here's a fun one for you. Some butterflies, like the European peacock, can hiss by rubbing their wings together to startle predators. How wild is that? Butterflies are also sensitive to light and weather, often becoming more active on sunny days and hunkering down during storms. Their life cycle is so finely tuned that even small changes in temperature or rainfall can affect their survival, which is why climate change is such a big concern. Conservationists are working hard to protect butterfly habitats, create pollinator gardens, and educate people about reducing pesticide use. You can help too. Planting native flowers like milkweed or lavender in your yard can give butterflies a much-needed boost. Oh, and one last quirky fact. Butterflies don't have lungs. They breathe through tiny holes in their abdomen called spiracles, which is just another reminder of how alien and amazing these creatures are. Honestly, I could go on forever about butterflies because they're such a perfect blend of beauty, science, and wonder. They remind us how interconnected everything in nature is, and how even the smallest creatures can have a massive impact. Thanks so much for joining me on this epic dive into the world of butterflies. If you love this video, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and dropping a comment below to let me know what you thought or what other topics you'd love to explore. See you in the next one.